Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had an amazing week and a great Friday so far. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about the new constitutional carry that just took effect in Texas. So, on Wednesday, September 1st, this is when this new constitutional carry went into law or became effective. So it's something that's been in the works, been talked about for the last few years or much longer. But it finally, I guess they passed it, and it became obviously they passed it, and it's now effective as of 2 days ago. So what constitutional carry basically states or states in law or makes it legal to do is you can openly carry a firearm, so basically a handgun. You can legally carry it without a license, publicly out in the open. So basically, what that means is, so like I said, without a permit. So you can, it has to be visible to the public, to the general public, and to everybody else. You can't have it concealed. It has to obviously be shown at all times in order to fall under this new law. And Texas joins, I believe, 19 other states that has constitutional carry. So I'm gonna get more into details about that. So, before this House bill, forget the actual numbers, for this bill passed, the basic requirements in before you can legally carry on your person a firearm, you had to get a license to legally carry, you had to do some of the several following things. So you had to take a online course, then you had to take a written test, a shooting test at a DPS approved testing site. You had to submit fingerprints, an application, a non-refundable fee for everything. So it was basically like a little laundry list of stuff that you had to do. You had to pass a criminal background check, so on and so forth. And when everything came back clear and you passed all the tests and you took the courses and whatnot, then you submitted the application and then you passed, and then you get what you called a concealed carry or license to carry license, which was a concealed carry. So that meant it had to be, you can carry it on your person, but it had to be hidden. But now with this new constitutional carry law, you can you no longer require to have a permit to openly carry, but if you want to conceal carry, you still required to have a license to do so. So that, I think that's probably the biggest, most important thing to remember between open carry, which is constitutional carry covers, versus concealed carry. So constitutional carry means you can openly have your gun on display and carry without a permit. Concealed, you can obviously, concealed means not have it showing, but you have to have your license, and it has to be active, and it has to be on your the license has to be on your person. So in the random rare event that you get pulled over and you get searched and the cop finds the gun on you and you're concealing it, you have to have that license to say, hey, look, I am legal to conceal my weapon while I'm out in public. So that's probably the biggest main difference between the two. There's obviously a lot of other stuff, but that I'm going to get into detail as well, but that's probably the biggest takeaway from between the two. But now with constitutional carry, in effect, in order to openly carry without a permit, some of the restrictions on that is you obviously have to be 21 years of age or older. What else is there? Oh, you can't be a convicted felon, and you can't be convicted of like domestic violence or any like assault charges, especially if it includes bodily injury, deadly contact, terroristic threats, and disorderly contact with a firearm. So that's some of the restrictions. There's a lot more if you do your research about the restrictions on constitutional carry, but that's probably some of the top takeaways to keep in mind, and that's just to carry without a permit. So like I said, do your own research, educate yourself on constitutional carry. Don't think that just because this law is in effect that I can just carry my gun and I'll be alright. And you need to do your research. So I'm not that I'm not the best gun expert, but I mean, common sense, it's not that hard to look up and educate yourself, whether you take 5 minutes or years. Having some sense goes a long way. So DPS is still is now offering, I believe, a free online safety course, but it's not mandatory to take before you openly carry in public. So with that said, even though this law is now in effect and it permits you to openly carry without a permit, I know I'm sounding redundant, but that's pretty much what this video is about. So there's a lot of issues that have been brought up and will probably continue to be brought up in the foreseeable future. So there is some issues. Obviously, majority of them are safety concerns. Is people being out in public that are untrained, uneducated about just basic gun safety, going around carrying, and then even though you are carrying constitutional carrying grants carrying without a permit, it still doesn't grant you amnesty from criminal charges. So that means if you go to a business that prohibits you from carrying while on their premises, whether they have signs posted or they see you and verbally tell you, hey, you're not allowed, because businesses have the legal authority to deny you service if they do not want you carrying while on their property, whether they have signs saying that you can't carry or they verbally tell you you're not allowed, and they can deny you service and they can call law enforcement if you refuse to comply with their orders, whether written or verbal. So that it doesn't grant you any kind of like free pass type deal now that this law is in effect. And obviously, like I mentioned, it poses a lot of safety concerns to the general public. Like I said, people out there, whether they're untrained, uneducated, or don't have the basic understanding or knowledge of this basic gun safety, gonna think, oh, now that this law is in effect, I can carry my gun whenever I want and use it if need be. God forbid that happens, but like I said, take the time to educate yourself, to take that free class, go to a gun range, get comfortable holding getting comfortable with holding the gun, with shooting a gun, learning the basics, how to load it, how to clean it, how to take it apart if you need to fix something, how to put it back together, how to, load the magazines, how to properly, rack it, so on and so forth. So that's what the classes, both the online and when you go take your shooting test, all covers the majority basic understanding how to handle a firearm, because it's not a toy. If you do use it, it can obviously, as everyone knows, it can fatally hurt someone, and whether you intend to or not. So like I said, even though we now have constitutional carry and people don't need a permit to openly carry, I strongly urge people to take some sort of class, especially if it is offered by DPS, so that you can have some kind of understanding, because it covers laws, it covers, how to handle a gun, it covers anything and everything needed before you start carrying. So that's something to keep in mind if you are considering openly carry, or maybe you want to conceal carry. Both ways, it works both ways. So a few more things to remember before I end this video is that there's still rules and there's still warning signs, and other things that pertain to where you can and cannot carry. Signs, but some businesses will still have their signs up prior, that were, if we were concealing, but now they can put up a sign prohibiting constitutional carry. So they'll still have their signs up prior to when this law was passed, but now if they want, they can also have a sign that strictly pertains to constitutional carry. And if they don't, like I said, they still can verbally deny you service if they tell you that you can't openly carry while on their property. So, and if you refuse to comply with written or verbal directions, you can be criminally charged. So that's something that keep in mind. So with that said, that is pretty much my little spiel, my little rant on constitutional carry here in Texas. And like I said, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because we have this law now doesn't mean that, you can be all willy-nilly and, think you're some tough dude, or just because we can now openly carry here in Texas. Be smart, educate yourself. Even though you've been raised around guns your whole life, or you're new to owning a gun, whatever your level of expertise, it never hurts to keep learning, to keep yourself updated. So like I said, common sense, it goes a long way. So educate yourself, train yourself. I regularly go to the gun range. I do own my own gun. And I am in the process of looking for a concealment gun, just to have something on me from this my peace of mind, well-being, so on and so forth. So with that said, do, like I said, do your research, take your time. It's no rush to, just now that this law is in effect, or if you want to conceal carry, it's no rush. Take your time, learn the basics, so on and so forth. So hope you guys have a great evening and a great rest of your day and a safe and fun weekend. And see you guys next week. Bye.